They don't live in just one world. They live in 1,000 half here, with you half drifting somewhere between dreams and eternity. And that is what makes Pisces the most mysterious, the most dangerous, and the most enchanting sign of the zodiac. Dangerous not because they wish to harm, but because they dissolve your boundaries. They see you completely. They notice the shadows you hide, the pain you bury, the love you're afraid to admit. One look from Pisces, and it feels like they've slipped into your soul, pulling out truths you didn't even know you were carrying. You can wear masks with everyone else, but not with them. Pisces sees through illusions like water seeping through cracks, silent, unstoppable, undeniable. They are soft, at least that's what the world thinks. Gentle, quiet, dreamy. And yet that softness is deceptive, because within Pisces is an ocean vast and endless. Oceans can comfort you with calm tides, or they can drown you in storms. Their danger lies in that depth. You cannot control it. You cannot measure it. You can only surrender to it. And when you do, you will never be the same. Pisces has always belonged to another realm. They feel more than most. They sense what isn't spoken. They catch the flicker in your eyes when your words say you're fine, but your heart screams otherwise. They hear what your silence hides. They dream what your soul desires. And because they live in this liminal space between reality and the unseen, they carry wisdom others overlook. They know that life is more than rules and walls and routines. They live in symbols and emotions and whispers of intuition. And here lies their danger once you let a Pisces close. You cannot hide from yourself anymore. Their compassion is a mirror reflecting not the person you pretend to be, but the person you truly are. That is terrifying for many, because most people spend their whole lives avoiding their own depths. Pisces will gently, without force, draw you into them, and you'll either drown in the truth or be reborn by it. Their empathy is both a gift and a weapon. They feel your pain as if it were their own. That's why they can forgive when others hold grudges. That's why they can love when others turn cold. That's why they can give when others shut down. But don't mistake their kindness for weakness, because empathy that deep is also power. It allows them to reach places no one else can reach. It makes them dangerous in love, because when they love you, they don't just love the surface. They love the parts of you you've buried, the parts you're ashamed of, the parts you've denied. And that kind of love, it changes you, whether you're ready or not. Spend time with Pisces, and you'll see how easily they dissolve into others. They merge, they adapt, they flow. With them, you feel understood in a way you never have before. And it's intoxicating because for once you don't have to perform. You don't have to fight to be heard. Pisces hears you before you even speak. But here's the danger in that merging: you can lose yourself. Their world is so enchanting their soul so magnetic that you forget where you end and they begin. You'll find yourself swept into their dreams, their fantasies, their ocean of feelings. And if you're not careful, you may never want to come back. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, the planet of illusion and imagination. That's why they are visionaries, artists, dreamers. They live in a realm where boundaries blur between reality and fantasy, between yours and mine, between beginning and end. To be loved by a Pisces is to step into that realm, to see colors brighter than you've ever seen, to feel emotions you've long suppressed, to touch the invisible. And yet, illusions can be dangerous. Pisces can lift you into heaven or confuse you in fog. They can inspire your greatest dream or seduce you into your sweetest escape. With them, the line between salvation and surrender is paper thin. But make no mistake, Pisces is not weak. Water seems soft until you realize it carves mountains. It wears down stone. It shapes the land itself. Pisces holds that same power. You may underestimate them until one day you realize their quiet persistence has transformed everything around you. They fight differently. Not with fire or force, but with patience, with vision, with a love so relentless it changes the shape of your heart. That is their danger. You don't see it coming. While others roar and rage, Pisces whispers. While others strike, Pisces flows. And while others leave scars, Pisces leaves transformation. They don't conquer through domination. They conquer through surrender, yours. Have you ever noticed how Pisces attracts the broken, the lost, the seekers? People are drawn to them like moths to light because somewhere deep down everyone craves the healing they carry. They can sit beside your pain without running. They can hold your darkness without fear. And in doing so, they awaken you to the possibility that maybe, just maybe, you are lovable even in your brokenness. That is terrifying and healing all at once. Because once Pisces shows you that truth, you cannot unsee it. You can never again accept less than a love that sees you fully. But their empathy has another side. It can drain them, overwhelm them, even break them. They absorb so much of others' pain that sometimes they lose themselves in the process. And when a Pisces loses themselves, their shadow emerges. They can escape into illusions, numb with distractions, drift into worlds where nothing hurts, but nothing heals. That is their battle, and that too is their danger, because when they run, they can vanish. Like mist in the morning sun, they can disappear from your life without a trace, leaving you haunted by their absence. Yet even in their vanishing, they leave a mark. People rarely forget Pisces. You may move on, you may love again, you may fill your days with noise, but when it grows quiet, you'll remember their depth, their eyes, their soul. Because Pisces doesn't just pass through your life, they touch your spirit, and spirits don't forget. So why are they dangerous? Because they blur every boundary you've built. They force you to feel what you've avoided. They love you into wholeness or into chaos. They drown you in their ocean, or they teach you to swim in yours. They are dangerous because they awaken, and awakening, as beautiful as it is never safe. If you are Pisces, maybe you're nodding now. Maybe you recognize the way people lean on you, the way they come to you with secrets they've never told anyone else. Maybe you know how exhausting it can be, how tempting it is to drift away into a dream just to rest from the weight of feeling so much. But you also know the gift you carry, the gift of seeing into hearts, of reminding people of their worth, of making them believe in magic again. You've always been more than this world could contain. That is your power. That is your danger. And if you're not Pisces, maybe now you understand why they are both feared and adored. Because when a Pisces enters your life, they don't just touch your hand or your mind, they touch your soul. And once your soul has been touched, you can never go back to who you were before. So yes, Pisces is dangerous, but not in the way people imagine. They are dangerous because they change you without trying, because they awaken feelings you thought were gone, because they show you truths you didn't want to face, because they remind you that there's more to life than survival, that there's beauty magic and love so deep it feels like eternity. Pisces doesn't conquer the world with power. They conquer it with compassion. They don't break walls with violence. They melt them with empathy. They don't demand transformation. They inspire it. And maybe that's the most dangerous thing of all, because once Pisces has touched your life, you will never ever be the same.